Today, price drops are in. Free performance for all. Nvidia is apparently the GPU cartel, and next-gen Nvidia GPUs are, quote, off the charts. Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. First up for today, we have yet another story proving the power of competition in the marketplace. This time, AMD has officially lowered the price of their RX 7700 XT from $449 down to $419. That may not sound like much, but keep in mind that the 7700 XT beats Nvidia's 4060 Ti in rasterization, and while it slightly loses in ray tracing, it overall wins compared to even the 16GB 4060 Ti, and those are going for around $450 plus. Of course, you're getting a bit more memory with the 4060 Ti, but the 7700 XT, at least for now, offers better overall performance. Not only that, but AMD has also lowered the price of their 7900 X3D to just $401. That's a pretty substantial drop from its original $599 price tag. Not to mention, the 7800 X3D is down to $349 with this $20 off promo code. Let's just hope prices continue on this trend. Next up for today, get your GPU ready for free performance. But first, I have a pretty wild story. I've been trying to find a new chair over the last month or so. As you can see, I definitely needed one, and I had pretty much decided on one from a brand called Sihu. But no joke, probably a day or two before I pulled the trigger, Sihu actually reached out and wanted to work with me. And what they sent has completely blown my mind. Now, they sponsored today's video, but it's amazing. It's called the Doro S300, and this bad boy has more customizations than RGB has colors. Get this out of here, I'm talking completely customizable lumbar support, 2 versatile armrests providing a comfortable and weightless experience. The armrests actually angle up, which at first I thought was odd until I found out that I could just rest my arm on there while with my mouse. It supports it really well. The chair's aircraft grade fiberglass base makes reclining and getting up effortless, and it even lets you adjust the reclining. To top it off, when you put down $699, you'll actually save $139.99 during their pre-sale event, and you don't have long to wait. Just visit my link and use the code in the description below. Now back to the story. Not too long ago, a hidden feature was found within Windows called Automatic Super Resolution, and in the description, it mentions the use of AI to make supported games play more smoothly with enhanced details. Basically, it sounds like an OS level super resolution, which would be very interesting because it could mean super resolution for both AMD and Nvidia GPUs, and potentially for way more games. Well, in a scheduled presentation by Microsoft at this year's Game Developers Conference, they're introducing something called DirectSR, and it even states that Microsoft will preview DirectSR, quote, making it easier than ever for game devs to scale super resolution support across Windows devices. And they even have engineers from both AMD and Nvidia to present for the event. So yeah, it's looking like we may soon have a more universal implementation of super resolution that could support way more games. Of course, if it does use AI like it mentions here, it will likely require newer hardware. But either way, this certainly sounds like some promising tech. And next up, Nvidia is being called out left and right for some disgusting business practices. The first part of this story comes from the Wall Street Journal and later reported by Tom's Hardware. In it, the CEO of a rival chipmaker called Grok discusses the fact that Nvidia basically strong-arms companies if they find out they're in talks with competitor chip makers. In this story, he says, quote, "A lot of people that we meet with say that if Nvidia were to hear that we were meeting, they would disavow it." He further goes on to say, "The problem is you have to pay Nvidia a year in advance, and you may get your hardware in a year or it may take longer, and it's aw shucks, you're buying from someone else, and I guess it's gonna take a little longer." So yeah, that's definitely some sleazy crap if it's true. Of course, this is coming from a direct competitor to Nvidia, so they definitely have an incentive to say bad things about the company, but it doesn't stop there. In a tweet to the story from Tom's Hardware, AMD's former head of the Radeon division, Scott Herkelman, stated, quote, "This happens more than you expect. Nvidia does this with DC customers, OEMs, AIBs, press, and resellers. They learn from GPP to not put it into writing. They just don't ship after a customer has ordered. They are the GPU cartel and they control all supply." So yeah, some pretty strong statements here. Remember that GPP was Nvidia's GeForce partner program where they tried to force their partners into exclusively using their naming brands with Nvidia GPUs only. They ultimately ended the program thanks to all the backlash, but according to this, Nvidia is essentially still doing it, but in a much more underhanded way. And while Scott Herkelman was over at AMD, he has since left the company. So this is coming from someone who would know, but who at least for now may not have any skin in the game. Not only that, but Microsoft, Google, and Amazon apparently have to convince Nvidia that they aren't going to become competition when making their own AI accelerators. Basically, AI is in a massive boom right now, to the point where Nvidia can't keep up, so it's a perfect time for other competitors to come into the market. The issue is that Nvidia dominates the industry, which is fair, they effectively created it, but they're using that power to force out competitors, and that's an issue. You win by having the best product, not threatening partners if they use someone else. If this ultimately ends up being true, it's simply disgusting. And lastly for today, while on the topic of Nvidia, we do have some good news. In a recent interview with Wired, Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang discussed something really exciting. For starters, when asked about wait times, he discusses the fact that this year is the start of a new generation. He's then asked if he means Blackwell, to which he responds with, quote, "That's right, it's a new generation of GPUs coming out, and the performance of Blackwell is off the charts. It's going to be incredible." So yeah, he's definitely excited for next gen and talks it up quite a bit. Of course, he's more referring to their AI accelerators here, but don't forget that unlike current gen, where the gaming GPUs fall under Lovelace while their accelerators use Hopper, Blackwell has been leaked to be the architecture for both their AI and gaming GPUs. Meaning when he says that Blackwell will be, quote, "off the charts," he's ultimately talking about the RTX 5000 series as well. And given how excited he is to discuss it, I'm not so sure this is hyperbolic. Let's just hope pricing isn't off the charts as well. So while that does it for today, are you pumped for Nvidia's next-gen GPUs, or are you just disappointed to see how Nvidia conducts business? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to check out Sihu's new chair down in the description below. I've been using it for a while now, and it's seriously awesome. And as always, have a great day.